Hello, you guys. This is going to be a channel message, but this is actually a reading that a friend requested for me to do for her, but she did say that I could share it. I actually asked her if I could share this spread because I feel like it's a very important question that she asked, and it makes a lot of sense. So if any of you who identify yourself as a twin flame or feel like you're dealing with a twin flame connection or a soulmate connection, whatever you want to label it as, a connection with another person, more than likely a romantic connection or a love interest that you feel like there's a deep connection with. Her question was, is she detaching naturally from the situation, or is she trying to escape or run from it? Okay, so she wants to know whether she's naturally detaching from the situation, meaning not so much the connection, because I feel like the connection serves its purpose more so for you than it does about you and another person or that person that you may identify with as a twin flame or a soulmate or whatever. But so she's asking if she's naturally just letting that whole situation go, I feel, with this person, versus her just going, I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's not going my way. This person isn't doing what I want them to do. They're not acknowledging this or that, So I want to pull, I'm not going to ask the question. I'm just going to pull the energy of what her intentions are, like where she's at with all of this. And I feel like sharing this because I feel like it can be beneficial or helpful to someone else who's in the same situation. So, thanks for that. Highest guidance, highest truth, highest clarity. Situation, whether or not she's naturally detaching from the situation or is she running. These cards spit themselves out, by the way, so I'm going to take them. So if I need full clarifiers, I will. I don't really feel like I need to, but I will possibly do that. So looking at the cards, so majority of your energy is in the physical, in the mental, and in the spiritual. It's not so much in the emotional aspect, I feel. I feel like this is a natural detachment. And I'm going to clarify. Okay, so I get a yes. This is a natural detachment. It's Tower cards. I'm going to leave the Tower card there. So you have the 8 of accelerated motion, which is like the 8 of wands. So what I get here is you are detaching from the situation, or you have, okay? It's something that was brought to your attention, okay? Something you needed to see, maybe, because both cards are looking at the stars. Well, she has a blind eye to it. She has her eyes closed, but there's like this disc with the cosmos or the universe. But here she's looking at him. So there's something that you are aware of, or that is like, this is divine timing, okay? It's like enough is enough. maybe there is some sort of karma that has completed itself within this connection. Not saying that you will never deal with this person again in some sort of way, because that's not guaranteed. And I feel like spirit will never promise us whether this person will leave or stay. That's not the point, because it's like we get too caught up on that, and we might not let things play out in the minute that they're way to, oh my gosh, in the way that they're meant to. Oh, that's crazy. But the intuition card. So this is something that you knew deep down inside, I feel, but you couldn't validate whether or not that you were on the right track with this. But I feel like you came into some sort of awareness, or you saw some sort of sign, or you got some sort of message, or some sort of synchronicity, something that lined up with something that might have been deep within you, under your subconscious, that you just didn't really pay attention to. It was very subtle. If this message wouldn't have came, you might have not have tapped into that information that was there. I get that you do struggle with letting this person go, in the mind at least. Mentally, you're very fixated on this situation based off of the past, based off of something that you wanted or desired way back when. Could have been dreams of like a family or marriage or something, or effort that you put in, or feeling like you put in like a lot of put a lot of energy into the situation to make it or build it or create it to be like something that was long lasting. Because you're the firm foundation card here, and I feel like you really put a lot of work in. You have a lot of mountains in your cards. I see a lot of mountains, and I get this, and like with the mountains, I get like this represents an impression or obstacle. But it is a little bit challenging for you, I feel, to overcome this this mind state of what I've built and what was supposed to be. Because I feel like you might feel like you, or believe that maybe you can't trust yourself, or at one point you felt maybe you couldn't trust yourself because, you know, I thought it was going to be one way, or, you know, I thought it was going to manifest into something else, or I was promised this. You might have felt like spirit had promised you something in the past in relation to this, like there would be a reunion, or it would be something specific, something major, and it's like when it didn't pan out, you feel like you couldn't trust in your guidance or your intuition. Like, I thought it was going to be this way because, and it could be that outside sources might have played into that as well, that maybe you consulted in psychics, or, and you trusted that information. It could have been valid at that time, but it seems like now it's like none of those things came to pass, and you kind of feel deceived within yourself. Kind of like you're mad or upset at yourself. You feel like you played yourself. Okay, like I can't trust my own intuition. I can't trust my own guidance. When it's, that's not really the case. I feel like this is something that you're going to have to learn to overcome. And it's a very small thing. Like you can easily shift out of this, because I feel like you've gotten some sort of validation of something that you knew deep down inside, but you couldn't really pinpoint what it was. With the situation, or detaching from the situation rather, or seeing something about a karmic energy, something karmic there. It's a small hurdle. It's nothing that you cannot overcome, as far as trusting your intuition again, or even the memories or the thoughts that you have surrounding the situation. You could have many different thoughts about this person, or perceptions of the person. You could feel like one way about him one day, and then the next you feel this way. And I get that there may be some resentment or some unhidden or hidden anger and resentment towards this person that you feel. And it's like because you're mad, and it's also like you're mad at yourself because it's like, how did I allow this to happen? Or why did I fall for this? Or why did I believe in this? And it was something in the past that you really felt like you knew and that you had it down to a science. And that happens in these journeys. It's like we know, or we feel like we just know something's going to happen, or, you know, we are promised that these so-called unions are going to happen, or reunion is going to happen, and, or, you know, the divine masculine or whatever, the divine feminine or whatever, you know, the labels, is going to reach out, or they're going to come back and all of this stuff. And I feel like that has something to do with it. And you might have been getting that information from you, like inside of yourself. So you feel like it's kind of like a slap in the face because you put in a lot of effort. Something about 4 years. Maybe you've been on this journey for 4 years. I don't really remember. Excuse me, how long you said you've been on this journey, but somewhere around 4 to 5 years. Maybe 3, I can't remember, but I feel like 4 is very significant though. And then right now though, which you can't see, but I feel like you've gotten some guidance that things are going to move positively for you. Like when you detach from this connection, and this could be financially because these are Pentacles cards here. These represent the Pentacles in this deck. So the 4 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like all of the hard work and all of the effort that you put in is not for naught. Like it's going to manifest into abundance in the material realm, whether it be financially, whether it be home, business, career, self-worth, and you know, healing, and, you know, bringing in new connections. Because at the bottom of the deck, you have a spiritual union card, which is like the 2 of Cups. But I feel like it has something to do with this whole connection. And the Tower card, something needs to be rebuilt or renewed with this connection. And I do feel like Spirit forced this change upon you. So you did not walk away simply from the fact that you were tired of the situation. I feel like you naturally were guided to leave the connection, and you might have even been forced to, or so it might feel. Because it's like the both of you are in a stagnation. It's like when you're not progressing within yourself on this journey and doing what you need to do on your behalf, not for the sake of this being with a person. It has nothing to do with that person. Like you told me, it has nothing to do with that person. It's the energy of the connection itself and what it's here to do to help you. Whether that's, you know, releasing codependence beliefs or habits, or releasing lack of self-worth and self-love, you know, or trust issues, you know, all types of things that we all deal with, different types of karma that we have to overcome in this lifetime. I feel like you've neglected those things. And Spirit was like, in order to get you, and because it's like when you neglect your part of what you need to do within yourself, the other person also neglects what they need to do. It's a stagnation of energy. So I feel like Spirit needed to shake things up and push you out of this situation and put you in a place of focusing on something else. You know, it's very typical to focus on physical matters, like my career. Like, let me detach from this connection. I got career to focus on, or I got work, I got family, I got children, I have my health, or I have, you know, school, or whatever. There's many different things in the material world that we have to take care of and focus on. So it's like those things come up to the surface, and it's like it's showing you where you're neglecting yourself, it seems. So I feel like maybe you have. So I'm not going to say maybe, because I know for a fact that you have shifted your energy and you're focusing back on your career again. And working on the journey based upon working on self. So if you're working on yourself, this person is working on themselves. And I feel like it's really about, you guys are connected and there is a contract, there is something there. But we know that the other person is just a mirror, or a catalyst rather, for us to push us to change. What better way to learn ourselves and grow than to love? You know, love is like the biggest, you know, cherished and desired energy on the planet, if not next to money, for some people. But I feel like love is like the drive for a lot of people. So to use another person to kind of draw you in to yourself is, I feel like, what the basis of these connections really stand for and what they're here for. Majority of the meaning, I feel, is about getting you towards yourself. And it's so real and so true, because anybody that really is on this so-called journey will tell you that they've grown so much because of this. And it's not so much about the other person. It's like just stumbling upon whatever this is, like whatever you want to call it. We can discredit it, the labels and the stages and stuff. I feel like that stuff is like very minimal. It doesn't have much importance at all. I feel like it's just the fact that you fell into whatever this is and you experience the phenomenon itself, or whatever, like I said, whatever this is. That it pushes you, and it's like you have to evolve. And if you haven't evolved, then maybe you're not, really dealing with this type of energy. Because if it's just about another person and it's all of this trying to win over another person, and you can't eat or you can't sleep, and sometimes that happens in the beginning stages. Like, it can consume you, it can confuse you, it can depress you, but at some point you got to come out of that and start to see what it is, and you start learning more about yourself, what it is that you need to let go of and heal. And this person is just a mirror for you. They push you towards yourself, and not giving them credit to the fact that it's okay to treat you a certain way, or to reject you, or to harm you, or to disrespect you or humiliate you. But sometimes it's kind of like the push that you need, because it triggers some things within us that are unhealthy and that we need to let go of and release, so that person kind of just serves as a catalyst for that. And it also teaches us about self. And it's very interesting because this year, when you break it down, numerology, the year breaks down to number 1. And number 1 is all about the self, the first house, the self-image, who we are as a person, what we believe ourselves to be. So I feel like this energy is about breaking out of codependency this year. Like, a lot of people are being pushed out of codependent situations, whether it be romantic codependency, a job, family, material things, religion, all kinds of things that you're codependent on, where you're not yourself, you're not standing on your own 2 feet, you're not independent, you don't consult within yourself or believe in yourself. That's where the shakeup comes. And I feel like this might have something to do with the Tower card. Okay, so a lot of people that deal with codependency, abandonment issues, rape victims, a lot of these types of people deal with these soulmate or twin flame connections, because it breaks them out of those traumas and those karmic situations or patterns. So that's what I get. I feel like this is a natural detachment, to answer your question. And anyone else that's watching, this more than likely resonates with you. I can imagine that it would, because it even resonates with me. So, as always, you guys, I'm sending you much love, and until next channel message.